Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints View, the channel for Southampton content for our match preview ahead of Southampton's home game with Crystal Palace. It's a chance to get the double over the Eagles and to create a bit of distance between us and them. Just to start off, as you can see, I am wearing the same clothes. The sub count is still the same. I'm having to film this straight after the transfer video. If you've seen that already, then you'll know. If you haven't, do go and watch it. You know, that's the thing. We've got to be planning these videos. We've got to get them done. But that is not important. What is important is our game on Wednesday night. Crystal Palace at home, and I think it'd be a tough one. You know, Crystal Palace are in good form, especially away from home. They've scored over the Christmas break as many goals at Anfield and the Etihad as they have at Selhurst Park all season, which is a crazy stat. They obviously got 3 in both games. One at the Etihad, lost at Liverpool. But they've shown the performances and they've shown that they can score plenty of goals. Defensively, they've not looked too great, but you know, they've done well, I think, and I think they're in a good place right now. They're level on points with us at 22, I believe, and that makes Wednesday's game pretty important because they're above us on goal difference. So obviously, if we get a draw, they'll stay above us, but if we beat them, we do go above them and open up a 3-point gap, which is quite important, and you know, make sure that we're even further away from that danger of going back near the relegation zone. But as for us, obviously we've had a week and a half break since the last game, which was a 2-1 win against Everton. Also at home, we got knocked out of the FA Cup, of course, by Derby. So obviously we didn't have FA Cup duties this weekend, so the players would have had a very long rest, which is probably a good thing, in all honesty, coming up to some really important games. You know, we've got Palace on Wednesday night and then Burnley away and Cardiff at home the next 2, so really winnable games, and we said that even before the Leicester game. So far we've won the 2 games that on that 5-game run where they're all winnable, so let's keep doing that and get a win against Palace. I won't go too deep into Crystal Palace analysis because we are getting some opposition insight from Harvey from 90 Min, which will come out tomorrow, I believe, so stay tuned for that. But from an outsider's perspective, it looks like they're playing some decent football. Roy Hodgson's got them playing, and compared to what I saw of them at Selhurst Park all the way back at the beginning of September, you know, they look like a much better side. But it does seem that actually Wilfried Zaha hasn't been the main man. That's my thought anyway. Andros Townsend has really stepped up. Milivojevic looks like a good player always as well. Zaha has looked a bit quiet. He hasn't really chipped in with the goal for a while. So we'll see what happens with him on Wednesday night. But they did break the hoodoo recently of winning without having Wilfried Zaha in the team, which was obviously a problem and probably the main reason why we beat them back at Selhurst Park all that time ago. But I think they're a really good side and definitely right mid-table, but can definitely be a side that push for the top 10 towards the end of the season. Not get there in my opinion, but they just have to remain consistent. As for us, like I've just said, we've come into this game off the back of a 2-1 win at home to Everton. It should have been more, you know, in my opinion should have been at least 4 or 5. Shouldn't really have conceded either. Everton barely had a sniff, but McCarthy was unsighted for their goal. And 8 minutes of added time really put the pressure on, especially the fans, because we just couldn't watch. But we came through with the win in the end, and that's propelled us up to 15th. We're getting further away from the relegation zone, which is really important. But it now seems that actually, with that win at Leicester as well, you know, back-to-back wins, we could actually be pushing near that top half. Dare I say it, we could actually be pushing for 10. Given the shocking start we had, that would be a minor miracle. I don't think we'll get there, and I don't think we should get too carried away, but what I do think we need to do is make sure we get 3 points on Wednesday night. Palace are playing well, but we're playing well as well, and we need to match them because they play quite a high pressing style of football as well, and to get 3 points in that game will create a massive gap and really propel us away from danger, which is really important because now we need to be looking up the table instead of below, whilst obviously still looking over our shoulders, make sure we don't go back into trouble, if that makes sense, especially with this run of games we're having. But 3 wins in a row in the league, I can't remember if we did that under Puel. That may be a Koeman stat last time we did that, which would be insane. It's just insane to think if it does go branch back, because I remember we won the last 4 games of the Premier League season in Koeman's second season. So that may be the last time we've actually won 3 Premier League games in a row, and if that is so, that's crazy. Remind me in the comments if we did do that under Puel, because I'm not too sure. I should have done my research really. Obviously the man in form is Nathan Redmond right now. I think he could definitely chip in with a goal or an assist. He just looks like he's going to score every game, which is really good to see because he's worked hard and he was good at the beginning of the season, just didn't really go for him. And especially with that awful season that he played in last season, you know, he deserves it. Danny Ings is obviously being back from injury is a major boost. It was a bit quiet on Saturday, missed 2 decent chances, but both of them saved well by Pickford. Fair enough to him. And also it looks like we could be welcoming back Ryan Bertrand. We have to see from the press conference whether that is confirmed. He's been out for almost 2 months now, I believe, with a back problem. So it'd be really important that we have him back in the team because fans just haven't enjoyed having Mark Targett in the side, especially if Cedric's now gone because he's been playing left back a bit as well. So we'll literally have 0 cover for Matt Targett. So we do need Bertrand back, and he's also our captain. Whether he gets the armband back, I'm not sure because Højbjerg's sort of clearly been a decent captain. We'll see. But if he does come back for this game, it's vital that he starts if he's fit enough. Don't have him on the bench. We have to have him starting if he's fit enough. If he's not, fair enough, let him recover because we don't want him to come back and then get injured again and then miss him. You know, make sure he's ready, but if he is ready for this one, put him back in. But another man who deserves a lot of plaudit is of course Jan Bednarek. What a rock at the back he's been of late. And for me, I just wouldn't change the side that started against Everton. We don't need to. Lemina seems to be coming back from injury as well, but to be honest, I think Ward-Prowse and May as well as Højbjerg have formed a really good partnership. So we'll see what happens with that. But in terms of defence, I wouldn't change it unless Bertrand is back. Jan Valery, he had a decent performance against Everton. I'm not too sure about him. It's mainly because he's young that I'm backing him, but I just haven't seen enough, especially as a wing back. You know, the crosses just haven't been there, and that's something that Cedric's actually quite good at, crossing. Defensively, I think he's been quite good. You know, he puts a good tackle in every now and then. He can intercept. He clearly looks confident on the ball. So I think he can only improve from now. And we'll see how he is for the rest of the season because really he's going to be our first choice right back. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, remember to like and of course subscribe. We're nearing 200 subscribers, so if we could hit that milestone soon, that'd be very much appreciated. We may have even hit it by the time I film this, probably not. And I'm sorry this has been a little bit short, but you will be getting some insight on Crystal Palace side of things tomorrow from my mate Harvey, who is from 90 Min. You'll probably recognise him. But yeah, until then, have a great week and we'll see you on Wednesday night.